Alright, so 2009's Orphan is directed by, and I'm definitely going to butcher this name, Jaume Colette Serra. The screenplay is by David Leslie Johnson, and the story is by Alex Mace. If you don't know the plot of this film, here's the synopsis. A husband and wife who recently lost their baby adopt a 9-year-old girl who is not nearly as innocent as she appears. And that little girl, 9-year-old girl, is played by Isabelle Fuhrman, who plays the character Esther. And I'm reviewing this because obviously the new Orphan film came out, Orphan First Kill. It's a prequel film, which I'm definitely interested in talking about and watching. I have not watched it yet, but yeah, that something's just weird about that. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's seen it. Well, at least had this opinion on it, that there's that uncanny valley there because this actress is like in her late 20s and she's playing younger than a 9-year-old girl supposedly. Um, so yeah, that's pretty weird, but we'll have to wait and see how that movie is when I get around to it. Both films, by the way, are on Paramount Plus, so if you want to check them out, that is where you should do so. Or if you want to go see the prequel in theaters, you can do that right now. I'm pretty sure it's out in most of the can't talk. It's late. It's out now in most theaters, so I think I'm gonna end up watching it on Paramount Plus though, just because I have other movies I need to see in the theater, and it's just easier for me to watch it at home. But yeah, this movie stars Vera Farmiga as the mother, Kate. We have Peter Sarsgaard as John, the father. As I said before, Isabelle Fuhrman as Esther. Is that how you say it? Esther? Is it Esther? Esther? I'm gonna say Esther, even though it sounds kind of weird. Who else do we have in here? We have Jimmy Bennett as the son slash brother, Daniel, and then Ariana Engineer, very cool last name there, as Max. And yeah, this is a really messed up movie, just the way it starts. And no spoilers, by the way. There is a really big twist in this movie, which I will obviously not spoil. Um, Anything I say is going to be vague, so yeah. Hopefully, I don't give anything too big away for the people that have not seen it and really want to watch it. Would I recommend this movie? Yes, for the most part, but you gotta go into it being like ready to see some fucked up shit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And I was not prepared for what I was gonna see in this movie, and just in the first like 3 minutes even alone, the movie is already fucked up and just really grotesque, and like you're looking away from the screen. Um, However, none of that has to do with Esther in the beginning. Just saying, it has to do with the whole losing their baby, and it's kind of like a nightmare scene. So that's the biggest thing I will say. Like the biggest spoiler I'll say is that it starts with kind of a nightmare scene about her, Kate, played by Vera Farmiga, her character losing her baby. Um, and it's hard to watch for sure. Like it's bloody and just messed up. It's hard to even explain, but yeah, it starts off really strong, and then for about maybe 25 to 30 minutes, it's all slow, but it's slow yet methodical in most points. There are definitely things. This is an 2 hour and 3 minute film, and honestly, I do think there are plenty of things that could have been cut out. Um, just kind of dead weight, things that didn't feel completely necessary. And also, just by the end there, I'm skipping to the end already, but by the end, they dragged it on for probably like 15 minutes or more. Just the whole final, everything like shit is going down kind of scene went on for like 15 minutes. And that'd be cool and all if it wasn't just like a whole, I don't know. I really don't want to spoil anything, but it's just it. The best thing I can say, like the best analogy, is a cat and mouse kind of game. And I don't know, something about the whole cat and mouse thing, depending on the kind of movie that it's in and depending on how repetitive it is, it can get really annoying for me. Like there's been movies like that and shows like that before that, like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, the whole, and spoiler alert for that, but the whole Leia thing in that show, that felt like a very, very much like a cat and mouse kind of game. And just the way she kept getting captured and shit just kept happening. It was annoying. It was repetitive, and that's kind of how it felt a little bit towards the end of this film. That being said, I still think it was a pretty crazy ending. So, um, yeah, for the most part, when it came to the horror and just the violence, they did a pretty solid job in this film. In terms of just having the most fucked up shit in this movie, like, you're not even prepared for that twist. Which honestly, like, the twist isn't even what shocked me most, because the twist in this movie I kind of already knew going into it, or at least suspected, and it's kind of based off of something that like a story I've actually heard before. I don't know if they actually based it off of that story, but it reminded me of a story that I heard about something, and obviously I can't say what it is, but I listen to a lot of like true crime and just like creepy stories and stuff like that. So maybe you can kind of piece things together. Maybe you kind of already know the twist. I wasn't like 100% sure that it was the twist, but there were a lot of like little context clues along the way there. I was like, yeah, I can see that they're building up to that a little bit. And by the end, the way that they pulled it off, I was very impressed by. Because for a minute there, like, what I thought was the actual twist, it wasn't the actual twist, but the misdirect twist was probably more fucked up than the actual twist, if that makes sense. um, Man, I can talk about that aspect of it all day, because honestly, that's like the biggest takeaway from this film is the twist. Like, what everything, like, everything that's happening. Sorry, it's late. Bear with me. But everything that happened throughout the film, it culminates together. It comes together, and it makes sense why certain things are happening and why certain characters act certain ways. Except for Peter Sarsgaard, that dude's kind of an idiot up until the end. Also, that guy was in the Batman, wasn't he? And his character here kind of reminded me of his character there. Maybe that's just kind of the character that he typically plays, but yeah, he was kind of an idiot, and I was mad at him quite a bit in this movie. Um, yeah, him, and then Margot Martindale as Dr. Browning, kind of like a therapist in the movie. Um, she annoyed the hell out of me. And then Peter Sarsgaard as John, he annoyed the hell out of me quite a bit. The only sane person in this movie, aside from like the kids, because they're kids, they're, Daniel and Max, they're just living through it. Shit is happening around them, and they're just trying to survive. But Kate, she's the only one with her head on straight. That rhymed. But due to her past with alcoholism and just the certain traumatic experiences that she's had in her life, nobody really believes her about certain things. So yeah. God damn, Isabelle Fuhrman did such a good job in this role. I'm not sure how old she was when she did this first film, but she was terrifying, honestly. Like, I mean, I'm not the strongest dude ever. I don't really have muscles or anything, but this kid could easily fucking kill me, honestly. This kid is terrifying, and not somebody I would want around, me or anybody I care about. So, yeah, Isabelle Fuhrman, great job in this film. Very excited to see how she does in the second one. And I don't know, I'm just really curious about that one, because I've heard good things, but also kind of funny and cringy things, I guess. We'll really have to wait and see for that review. I don't know when that review will be coming out. I might try to watch it tomorrow, but I also might, I don't know. I know I'm seeing Beast tomorrow with Idris Elba, so I don't know how much time I'm going to have to watch both, but then I also have most likely 2 movies on Thursday, so I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to fit that in, but I'll fit it in at some point. Maybe this video won't come out as soon. Actually, no, this video will come out immediately. So, yeah, there you go. Let me see if I have any more notes here. Literally, as soon as Esther joins the family, it starts tearing everything apart, and people just start to spiral from there. You know, there's setups for possible sequels, prequels, and all that. There were certain things mentioned that I'm sure I'm gonna see in Orphan First Kill. Let me see here. Said this shit is unsettling as fuck. It really is. Like, you guys, I told you already, but still, like, if you have not seen this film, you are not prepared for the twist and just the fucked up things that happen in this movie. Excuse me, in this movie, because it's unexpected and it makes you feel kind of sick. And yeah, that's all I can say without spoiling anything. But last little note I have there, I already kind of talked about it, that it kind of dragged on by the end, but overall, not a bad movie at all. There's a lot of suspense to it. There's a lot of just creepy moments. I will say the majority of the first and second act were a little slow, but it, like I said, it was methodical. There were things that they were setting up, and little context clues and little Easter eggs to, like, if you're paying enough attention to it, you catch on to certain things, and that's something I appreciate for sure. And then even, like, knowing the twist afterwards, it makes, even if there were things that you didn't quite catch up on, no, if there were things that you didn't, you know what I mean, if there were things that you didn't notice, then, or things that you were like, huh, that's kind of weird, wonder what that's all about, by the end, it's like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense now, why that happened. So yeah, I'm going to end this review here because I'm very, very tired. Thank you guys for bearing with me through this review, but I just wanted to get it out there and kind of get my thoughts on this movie so I could watch that other one as soon as possible. But yeah, next video will not be for Orphan First Kill. That will not be my next review. My next one should be for Beast, starring Idris Elba. The one after that will most likely be 3,000 Years of Longing. Is that what it's called? Also starring Idris Elba. And then I might either be seeing Breaking, I believe it's called, with John Boyega, or The Invitation. I said that weird. Not sure which one I'm going to watch. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch either of them, honestly. I don't know. I don't know how much time I have to do all of that, but I'm really not trying to watch 4 movies in the theaters over the next 2 days, so we'll see what I have time for and what I have the mental capacity for. So yeah, like I said, thank you for bearing with me through this review. I know it's kind of a weird, kind of off the rails one, but hey, it kind of makes it a little more fun. So thank you very much for watching. I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Pop Culture Podcast. The link in the bio of my Instagram will take you to a page full of links where you can find a link to where to listen to my podcast on all major podcast platforms. There's links to my website, my TeePublic store. Go check all that stuff out. I think I already said this, but leave a like on the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, and I will see you in the next one.